Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm here to do a review for you guys on the OCC Skin Tint Concealers. They've been out for a while, but I started to use them about 5 months ago because I wanted something that would help me cover up that acne scarring spot that I had, and you guys have heard about that. I'm sure you've seen it in recent videos as well. And while I was working on some skincare to tackle that problem and take it away, I obviously needed something to help conceal it. This is not a textured spot. It's basically, it's flat, like there's no texture to it. But of course, you know, you still need to cover it up because of the color of it. It's like a reddish brown spot. So I got the OCC tint because of that. And if you guys remember a while ago, probably maybe about two and a half years ago, I got my hands on the OCC tinted moisturizers that I also love, and I've done a review on them as well. So I think that these probably came out at the same time, but for some reason I didn't know about them, and I only recently heard about it. So these are $20. This is the jar. These are $20 for 8 grams of product. That's a lot of product. And if you guys are familiar with any of these products in a jar, you'll know like there's a lot of product in here. So first things first, the packaging is just a clear plastic container. I'm not a huge fan of plastic when it comes to things like this because it can crack. It's not always the easiest to travel with. Also, I don't love concealers that come in jars like this because obviously it, you know, for sanitary reasons it would be nicer if it came in a pump, but obviously this is a cream concealer as opposed to liquid, so I don't know what other options there could be for something like this. So there are 12 shades. There are 6 in the yellow category and 6 in the red category. So obviously we know that yellow means somebody who has more yellow undertones in their skin, and red would be for more people who have red undertones to their skin. This is definitely the most important part in choosing a concealer because you need to figure out your undertone before you can figure out how to correct the issue that you're looking for. So I think in those 12 colors there are really, really, really good colors. Like, I think that they could have had more colors, but these are so blendable that it's really easy to custom create your color if you needed that. So I've been using Y3 and Y2. So they're both yellow based, and Y2 is this one right here. And what I use this one for is I will go in and highlight my cheekbones with this if I want that extra light sort of look, but I don't do that all the time. And then my Y3 is a bit darker, and that is my facial concealer. So let me show you guys some. Ooh, look at how creamy that is. Like, you can just see that. So here is Y3 right here. So you guys can see it's blended into my skin really well. And this is seriously the creamiest concealer ever without being oily, which is such an oxymoron. I feel like I've used so many concealers that are so creamy, but they're creamy because they're so oily. So it means that for people with oily skin like myself, it's a huge issue. You put it on, it looks great at first, it'll last for, you know, 1 or 2 hours, and after that it's just like sliding right off. It's getting on your sunglasses, it's getting off on people's clothes. It's just not fun. And I actually have not found a facial concealer that I like for a really long time. Like, you guys know that I've kind of struggled with MAC's Studio Finish because it's so dry that it's kind of hard to work with. And then I've tried so many, like I've tried the Clé de Pau one, which everybody has recommended saying was amazing, but 1, they didn't even have my skin color. 2, I used it then a little bit for under my eyes and whatnot, and it's just the oiliest formula. So this worked really, really well for me. So here is the Y2. The Y2 is right here. As you guys can see, it's a lot lighter than my skin color, but just to highlight, it is amazing. So these concealers I feel like are really, really good because 1, it's vegan, it's cruelty free, all that stuff, paraben free. And then 2, it has some really good ingredients in here. Like, it has vitamin E, which is really good. It has a lot of natural products in here as well, like castor oil and things of that nature, but it's not oily, and that's my favorite part. Also, some people, I was reading reviews on this as well, a lot of people said that it's difficult to use, and I don't think that's the case at all. I would definitely use this with your fingers over anything else. I've also experimented with the beauty blender, so that also works. Like once you put it on with your fingers to kind of to blend this out with your beauty blender, that works really well too. But I found that this is a much better facial concealer than under eye concealer. I think that it does have the ability to smudge under your eyes if you do not hydrate your eyes beforehand. So you guys know that I use an under eye cream, the La Mer Eye Balm Intense. So when I use that and it's just like fresh and then I put on the concealer, then the concealer won't move and it looks good and it lasts. But if I'm using it a few hours into having hydrated my under eye circles and my under eyes, then it's not going to last. And it does create a little bit of a crease. It's not something very, very noticeable, but I am definitely pretty anal about stuff like that, so I wouldn't go out looking like that. But therefore, I chose this more as a facial concealer. The coverage is amazing, but I think it's one of those formulas that activates when you sort of use your fingers because the warmth of your fingers comes out. So I have used it with brushes. One of my favorite brushes to use with concealer is the Sigma Precision Flat P80, but for this one I definitely prefer my fingers. So I would just tap it directly onto the spot that I wanted to conceal, and that was really good. This is also good for hyperpigmentation because it's opaque enough to where you're not going to see a real skin from underneath. So if you guys are really going for that perfect flawless finish and you don't want to look gray and you don't want to look like you have hyperpigmentation, this is really good for that. Like under your like on your chin area and stuff of that sort. I don't have this on there right now, but that is a good way to use this. But my favorite way to use this, which I have not found even one concealer that can do this for me, is around my nose. So I don't get too red around my nose to begin with, but I do have big pores there, and that causes obviously a lot of oil. So I like to use this just on those areas, the Y3, which is my skin color, and use a blending brush like this to just blend this onto the corners of my nose. And that really helps with oil control. It looks really good, especially in photography, because since I have bigger pores, it helps conceal that. And so far, I've never found a concealer that can do that without breaking up. Since I'm so oily there, I feel like every concealer that I've used there ends up breaking up. And it looks really like smudgy and sort of dry in areas, patchy and stuff like that. And this just doesn't do that. So that's my favorite. And with 12 of them, you guys can definitely find yours. So since I've never really had good luck with finding concealers for my face, because I just usually just find everything slips off, I found this and I wanted to share this with you guys. I know it's a product that's been on the market for a while, but if you guys haven't tried it out and are looking for something to solve the same sorts of issues as me, then go ahead and look at this one. Also, at first I was thinking this might be a wax-based product, which is fine too, but then I noticed that since it has oils, it couldn't be that. But at the same time, these oils in here do not make it feel greasy or oily at all. It's even to the point where when I put it on, it doesn't have that shiny look of like a cream in general, like a cream-based product. So I don't even really feel the need to have to powder it. Like I don't feel like if I don't powder it, it's going to come right off. So it is really interesting because it looks one way, but when you apply it, it just really works with your skin, and it really works with the texture of your skin. So I really love that. So for now, that's it. If you guys want to check out my reviews on the tinted moisturizer, please do that. It's from a couple years ago. I'll try to link it in the description box as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.